Hey guys, today I'm gonna take you behind the scenes. I'm in my friend's house. She has this beauty product campaigns and I'm here to shoot her products. We have, as you can see, we have like some tons of products and props here. We have a very like bad lighting condition, just one window hitting that thing. This is like a freezer and all it does is some like weird sounds like that. I hope the audio doesn't suck so bad. So the plan today, we're gonna use this freezer as a surface for our products, and then we're gonna use the side light from the window as a light source, main light source for our products, and then I'm gonna try to use some sort of a white bounce to fill the shadows of the product. Okay, so let me run you through the setup. We have here some fur, it's faux fur, and we have our products here, Nanogen. We added these two magazines just to give some color, and we added this to give some sort of a background, a better background, better than the colorless wall. And I have these fairy lights, it's run by battery, it's really nice. I put it in the front just to bring some sort of a bokeh, and as you can see, I tried to reflect the light coming from the window through this white board. And as you see here on the product, no bounce and with bounce, no bounce and with the bounce. Okay, for this product it was really hard, it was so challenging because it's transparent. So when I placed it here, I could see behind of it all the texture from that thing. So I'll have to remove this. And now as you can see, everything is white, but it's a little bit boring, so we're trying to make it more interesting. So I got this. The color of this is similar to the color on the product, the name of the product, but it's contrasting with the blue color. So what I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna try to place it at an angle so that it contrasts with the blue-green color. our next product. As you can see, the product is yellow. So I got this piece of cloth. It's purple, it's contrasting with yellow. So what I'll try to do is, I'll try to have a contrast between the yellow and the purple, and then this yellow sunflower on top. Okay, now with the editing process of the photo. This is a raw photo, it's straight out of the camera. So the first question I always ask myself, what's the main subject, or what I want the eyes to be attracted to? So I want the eyes to be attracted here. So the first thing, this has a lot of blown out highlights. So I'm gonna bring the highlights down. So now as you can see, we restored some of the bad light we had. And to compensate, now the image is very uncontrasty, and just increase the whites just a little bit. And then I do the same with the shadows. I don't like having like complete dark areas here and there. So I open up the shadows and I compensate the loss of contrast by making the blacks darker. And I go like strong with the blacks. Now we have a very beautifully contrasting photo without having anything in the highlights blown out or in the shadows. Just one more thing I like to do to make sure nothing is blown out, I just go to the tone curves, I take the black point, I just pull it up a little bit just by 3 or 4 and bring the whole curve back down. So now I'm sure if anything falls into black, it's gonna stay at a dark gray. Okay, now I go back to the basic module. For the style my friend likes in her photos, she likes things to be a little bit overexposed. So I'm gonna expose everything a little bit more than it should be. I guess that's a lot, something like that is good. Also, this is like beauty related stuff, so I'll reduce the clarity and I'll reduce the dehaze. And the texture as well. I don't want things to be sharp, and I'm gonna go to the detail module. I'm gonna add some luminance to make everything also a bit softer. One thing I need to do also, I go to the lens correction and I enable profile corrections. This is just because if my camera has some sort of distortion or vignetting, it removes it. But actually I like the vignetting, so I'm gonna bring back the vignetting. Vignetting is basically the black circle that's drawn around the image. So I brought back the vignetting in the camera correction, and also I added some additional vignette in the effects module. Now the last thing I need to do is go to the colors, which is the HSL adjustments. I can play with the hues, saturation and luminance. Now I want to make this pop out even more. So I'm gonna increase the saturation of the yellows just a little bit. You see if I increase it or reduce it. So I'm gonna increase the saturation of the yellow and the purple as well, because the stronger the purple is, the more the yellow is gonna pop out. But in the luminance, I'm gonna darken the purple just a little bit so it doesn't take from the eye, and I'm gonna brighten the yellow just a bit so it's more eye catchy. Okay, I guess the last thing we'll do in the camera raw, I like to do, I go to the radial filter, I add some clarity, I add dehaze, I add sharpness, saturation, open up the shadows and add contrast and some brightness. So I'm adding all things that keeps the eye attracted to whatever we're adding. And I'm gonna draw now the radial filter only around my product, and make sure of course it's feathered, it's not so like hard edge. And now I'm gonna open image. Okay, now it's time to crop. I'm gonna go 4x5 for Instagram. And now it's time to choose where you want to place it. I always like to use the navigator to see like the overall look. I want to include a bit of the sunflower, something like that. With you want like the sides. I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller like that, just a little bit. And now we have like problem with the empty sides. I'm just gonna take the rectangle marquee. I'm gonna draw a selection here and Ctrl T and just stretch this out a little bit. And let's do the same on the other side, and let's stretch this out a little bit. Usually the eyes can tell if it's stretched or not, as long as there is no known scale elements. And that's it for the natural light shooting and editing tutorial. If you have any comments, questions or suggestions, make sure you leave them in the comment section down below.